Howdy out there, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at this 1983 film directed by Douglas Trumbull, the guy who did the effect work for 2001 and had directed Silent Running with Bruce Dern, kind of a cult classic from the early 70s. This film was released in 83 and of course features a terrific cast: Christopher Walken, Natalie Wood, Louise Fletcher, who played Nurse Ratched in the original One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then of course Cliff Robertson. And it's funny, Christopher Walken, I think this pairs nicely with The Dead Zone because it explores sort of similar themes. And in many ways, this is a movie that I think a director like Christopher Nolan should try to remake, because it has such an amazing ambition about it. And the cinematography, whenever the sequences take place where you're experiencing whoever was having their experiences recorded, their thoughts recorded, those are all in 70mm film, and so the aspect ratio continues to sort of change. It fits the full screen if you're viewing those recorded experiences, and otherwise it looks like a standard formatted aspect ratio from a sort of a standard formatted DVD from back in the day. And while initially there was a little bit of I don't know, I just like letterbox. I want to see the full width of the screen displayed. I think it works for this film because you need to experience the difference, and the differing aspect ratios accomplish that. Now, of course, the movie is essentially about this group of scientists in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina, in the early 80s, developing this tool where you can record and capture all of the experiences of someone who's wearing this helmet, and then you can have a surrogate basically wearing a helmet and playing back that tape of recorded experiences, and then you will experience the exact same things. You'll see, feel, even touch, at least give the sensory feeling of touch of what that original person's recorded memories and experiences were. And of course, it's been done since. Strange Days did it. I think Until the End of the World, Wim Wenders explored similar themes. It's a terrific film, and this one came out in '83, so I think to a certain degree it was sort of first in this genre. There was another film, I think, called Looker, which had similar themes. That was a Michael Crichton movie. But I think, on balance, this one really works very well. Natalie Wood and Christopher Walken. Of course, there was that terrible tragedy out at sea with those two and her, Natalie Wood's husband, Robert Wagner, which was deemed an accidental drowning, but I think we all suspect that there may have been something else afoot there, but certainly there's no way of proving it. And at this point, the only people who know the truth are Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner, who are both alive. And I just pray that it really was an accidental drowning, because I love both of their works, and it just, things happen, but it was definitely a set of suspicious circumstances. But in any case, this movie, Brainstorm, the Blu-ray release, I picked it up used. It doesn't have really any special features whatsoever, just a theatrical trailer. It also, the video, the PQ, as it were, is decent. It's a little soft, but I think it's good enough. And especially the sequences where you're viewing someone's experiences, they look terrific. And especially for the time, they were really impressive. And I'm glad to say that they still hold up. And I think the drama is pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. Trumbull was not as effective, I think, at capturing dramatic moments on film as well as some of his colleagues. But as far as his eye and his sense of visuals, and the fact that he had Chris Walken and Louise Fletcher and Cliff Robertson on the team was great. Natalie Wood was fine, but I think she was probably one of the weaker links. But it is interesting, because I do feel like you are actually seeing a convincing love relationship on screen between Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood, and that was what people suspect may have been the cause of the accidental drowning is that, you know, some have suspected that Robert Wagner confronted them about that out on that boat. But again, this is just speculation. Nobody really knows. So on that note, I would just say definitely give this film a look. It's quite terrific. I think it holds up very well. And again, it would also be a movie that I think could be remade into something even better. Joel Rubin, again, he was the writer. He had a real knack, having written one of my favorite horror films of all time, Jacob's Ladder. So on that note, just take care out there, everyone. Stay safe, be kind, and by all means, keep watching good cinema.